What do you think?
My brother, we can't wait for the military to take over.
Okay.
Yes, that is exactly.
Yes, I agree with that. You know why? Why I said I agree with that? If peradventure military take over this government, yes, you will see the light of the day. I believe there will be discipline. So many people will behave themselves. It will not be a business as usual. You will not. It will just come out from a sector or one government sector. You thief our money and leave. Nobody will query you. But when military take over, everybody will have respect.
Yes, 100%. I support that.
They no get the power.
Military no fit.
They no go fit because 9 people we dey there. I can general, lieutenant general, major general.
As I'm talking to you now, what is happening in Niger and Gabon? If our military is not corrupt, because our military is also corrupt. I'm not fearing anybody. Our military is corrupt. If our military is not corrupt, this is the opportunity to strike. Mr. President himself is in India enjoying himself there. This is the opportunity to strike. But what is happening? They will not do it because even them themselves, they are afraid. You understand? Because what they have, one or two.
So I'm not clamoring for military rule, but we have been waiting for long for this democracy to work since we gained independence. It has not been working. But our country now have a problem. It won't be that easy to achieve it because we have a problem of diversity in ethnicity. Our militaries, they don't speak the same language. The Igbos or Hausas might agree, the Yorubas with Sabo, you understand? So whatever that will work is what we need. But if military is working for them, and if you notice,
people who are calling for military intervention should be careful of what they are calling for because there is nothing like rule of law in military intervention. If there is a military regime or military takeover now, there is nothing like courts, nothing. So they should be careful for what they are wishing for. But in Nigeria,
okay, if we can get, if a military can come in, we'll be happy.
You'll be happy as an individual.
I'll be happy as an individual because nobody sees what is happening in this country and said the politicians are doing well. See, even if P2B comes, he may not get it right. Unless he's going to use the people that are not these current politicians. Because they are biased, they are corrupt already. To the grassroots. So I think we need military to come now and flush this system completely and bring fresh people. Then we can go back to democracy. I think then we can get it right.
I should never think of military intervention because that is never an option, nor a remedy to any problem in this country.
You want the same thing?
Yes, if that will make Nigeria to turn back what it used to be, I'm fully support of it.
We will take over. I think it will be better for us. It will be better for us. We are suffering.
The military intervention is because of the high level of corruption, mainly in African part of the world, in our own side, West Africa, we are more corrupt.
Okay.
And
Nigeria is very poor, so an average Nigerian finds it difficult to eat or even to eat a square meal in a day.
Yes.
So that is the major challenge because our economy, we have not been able to enhance it to help us to be productive. We have not encouraged indigenous companies, indigenous manufacturers to come into, fund them, the government fund them to bring in equipment to, make a production to be progressive. So that is the problem we have as a country.
So speaking of enhancing our economy, how do you think the government can enhance our economy?
Number one is human capital development. There are a lot of people who don't have finances. They have the technical know-how. They have the skill to move the economy forward. But they don't have finances to finance such projects. So that is where the government have to come in. You understand? And also in areas of agriculture. You understand? A lot of families find it difficult to feed. We left every production pertaining agriculture to the northern part of the country. So we have to encourage, everybody even in your local place, to have a mini farm, so that you can, fight hunger. Yes, to stand safe.
So why do you think people are leaving Nigeria?
That is what we are saying. It's hunger. You are a graduate, you don't have a good job, there is no good job, no paying job. You understand? Our youth are rushing around, our youth are engaging in drugs.
Yes.
Why? Because the economy is bad. Somebody who is above 30 or who has a family or children to cater for, and in a day you cannot have up to 1,000 or 2,000 to feed them. What do? You look for greener pasture. That is why our people are leaving Nigeria in droves, because of the economic emancipation of the people, because of bad policies of the government. You see them, they give policies, they don't meet up with the policies. They don't have the use of the country at heart. They are there for their private interest. They are there for their family. So you see them, a lot of them, their families, they are outside the country, enjoying, going, studying in a better school. But here you don't see any good educational system here. No good medical system here. So all this is a problem. And it boils out to the government of the day. When you have people who are not competent enough to occupy positions of power, you see a lot of things come to play. You see the madness in the society. Our youth, I don't know what will become of them in 5 years to come, because a whole chunk of our youth are indulging drugs, in cultism. So you see a lot of killing. Look at the DPO that was murdered the other day by court group. You understand? And the government had to place 100 million bounty on the Mr. somebody, to Baba or something. So you see insecurity, where the government, the evidence of democracy is not going straight to the people. You see insecurity. People will begin to live lawlessly. So that is where we are. And you see what the tribunal did. In general, the tribunal has been able to murder democracy in Nigeria. Let me tell you, as a Nigerian, I don't have much faith in Nigeria again. And I don't know what will become of my children. Because the tribunal, the little hope we have, because they say the judiciary is the hope of the common man, you see where we are. So we are living in hopelessness. We don't know where our meal will come tomorrow, our next meal will come from. So this is the issue we have at hand. And if we don't begin to address this as a people, when we begin to live in nepotism, live in tribalism, you understand, we will live in religion, sentiment, and whatever you think of. Because as a people, if we don't want to belong and live as a people, we'll just go our separate ways. Because if we keep on trying to manage Nigeria, that is where we bring the monster. The people become monster, because there is no way you are able to manage their life. Their life has no meaning. A graduate who their parents spend millions of naira, you know how it is to pay money for school fees of children now, and after graduation they don't have job. So it is painful. It is very, very painful. And that is why you are seeing in every other African country, you see revolution coming. The military taking over power. They are not doing it. It's not a coincidence. It's something that is a pre-plan. It has been dictated into them. They know when you want freedom, you don't just go and sleep. And that is what is coming. It will take over Africa. We have to begin to question our existence. The white man has come and, civilized us, take everything, take our dignity as a people. But how do we restore it? Our good hands, our good brains are in America. They are in England. They don't come back here. When they spend that money and go to England to study, after graduation, they will employ them there. Use them, use their what is left of them, and bring them back. At their old age, they will come back here. They cannot do anything. So if we begin to have a government that is functional, that has the will of the people at heart, you will see our best brains will be brought back to the country. Our best brain in terms of technology, in terms of science, in terms of medicine, they will all come back. and you will begin to see our people will begin to prosper. So if the government at the center is nothing to write home about, there is no way. We are just dreaming. Look at the case of Nnamdi Kanu. The same ECOWAS body that are very, very much fast to go and fight Niger. These are the same regional court of ECOWAS body that has been sitting on the case of Nnamdi Kanu for many years. And they have their headquarters in Abuja. So you see this body, that our regional body that we are part of, and we are those sponsoring this body. You see that because of corruption, the corruption has also eaten deep into these sectors. And you see them, they are not functioning. If ECOWAS is truly a strong body that has the interests of Africans at heart, they will not be there. These queues are taking place. So that is where we are. And let me tell you, if I wake up tomorrow and they say the army has taken over in Nigeria, it will not be a surprise to me, because we are the ones who are pondering ourselves into problem.
Are you saying the case of Nnamdi Kanu incarceration is government, the federal government has hand in it, like the Supreme Court have discharged him?
Yes, who is keeping him? The DSS. The DSS is under the executive. The CSS is not just, it's a Department of State Security. They are answerable to the executive. Do you understand me? So why are they keeping this man? If a court of competent jurisdiction has said, leave this man on bail, why are they still incarcerated? Why is he being incarcerated up to now?
There's no justice.
There is no justice entirely in the system. You understand? Now, Tinubu now is not even talking about releasing him. You understand?
Yes.
He's busy traveling all over the world just to, bring a cheap sympathy, cheap favor from all these countries. Yeah. And let me tell you something.
Many they sick BP. Many don't unconscious. They are me. May they help us. Why do they wicked us like this? To pay us rent now in a war. As you can see, nobody they move for this country again. See motor mechanics, see motor mbuka. Nobody they work. Everyone parking motor because of fuel issues. May they help us. They are me.
So since Tinubu coming to power now, things don't.
It don't worse. This one worse upon worse. We don't cry for Buhari. This one now, the country done the baru.
In the time I say Buhari better pass this one.
Buhari said, now fuel na do something. This one na the worst. This one, Buhari better pass him by 100 times. I beg.
All right. People they say main military take over power from Jagaban. Say military go dey better. Thing wey transfer for Niger, Burkina Faso. What's it be your?
It go dey good. As Burkina Faso they do their own. Na so we want. Military rule this country. We know as business the day before. If you buy motor of 100,000, 150. Look at now, to eat now, family men to breastfeed their children. No way.
No joy.
I beg, make them do something. Because before December, many people will go to their village final. In the army.
So, sir, you watched last week election tribunal judgment where they discredit most of the allegation levied against Jagaban. What do you think about that?
All those ones, now wayo. In the army, they know the right. Make them do the right and tell us the truth.
All right.
All right. So I don't want to make someone say I talk to this one. I don't talk to anybody. Everybody know what they pass through. Don't understand me.
Election tribunal judgment no concern you now. The fuel subsidy now.
And fuel subsidy, make them make sure everybody feel all right. Make them bring fuel down. All this wickedness no good because me, you get all this what they do get after effect. They have me.
And
so
you see the effect now.
Everything. Me as I dare now to eat not a problem. As man look me very well. Nobody like this one day before. Yeah.
Collect the money. So I come leave the country for them.
Where you want Japan?
Yeah?
Where you want Japan?
I mean, I think about Canada. So this country like this, I need to get you. Any day while you sleep, wake up, my mind will start to the boy.
So are you telling us that since Tinubu came into power, now things don't change, things don't like the way it used to? Now this current administration caused this economic quagmire that we are currently in.
My brother, since all this while, since I grow up for this country, as a citizen of this country, since all this while we dey pray, it go better. But this time around, my dear, I can't be like say God already answer prayer again for this country.
So we don't pray.
I don't tire for prayer now. I don't tire.
like this, even na something where they go do physical now, me I do physical now, mood do I everything. If you go
Physical
better,
like what? Protest, riot, revolution?
these days now, if you do protest now, they carry gun shoot you, they go tag you terrorists. So the country now don't tire me. So the best way for me now, I see the country no one better again. That one plot, I want go sell am.
Sell
Make I jump.
Jackpot,
They tell you. So anyway, I hear say all these our wicked leaders they don't die finish. I feel just come back.
Come back.
Then check whether things go better from there.
So you support military intervention?
My brother, this is military of you know, this military now still them be the military. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So even inside the military, many of them are still the politicians too. So Nigerian politicians, they are not helping matter. They are not helping matter.
So what are the way forward now, sir?
The way forward to me, in fact, if I would say this country itself, even I just make it split into pieces, make everybody say, make the nearest community just go there on their own. Okay. You understand?
Like
whatever.
Europe now. Like as Europe did.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Even though maybe the village king self now they take over the community, everybody. Yes. So because the way they see the country, I'm not sure whether it go better again because the thing don't worse to the extent anywhere.
And the problem, the major problem is the leadership.
Yes, it's the leadership that's the problem. Because we youth, we don't even have rights on our own to even talk within our mind. Because if you come out for the street now talk, before you know it, they don't pay person money, make them come kill you. So this time around, we don't tire of talking.
This is a media where you are expressing your own view.
Yes, now.
You have freedom.
Yes, now I have freedom.
They seem to allow the man to enter. Then I've never seen such a where the president who has entered there and come out through court.
So, what were your expectations? Like, who do you expect in your own mind that say court go announce this one, or who you feel say win the election in your mind?
The election. Everybody knows who won the election. Huh? You too, you know. So you know, you know who won the election. So you know who won the election. So no, the election is very open, and they cannot. People know. People. This is a time I see people come out in a mass to vote. Even some old women trek up to 6 miles to come for election. So I've never seen such a turn up before, and they expected a good. So, but at the end, they turn everything.
They rob Peter people.
So that's all. So, but we leave everything in the hand of God.
So people are calling for Nigerians are dissatisfied with the result, and most people, all transpiring Niger of recent, Gabon, Burkina Faso, people are calling for the same junta military intervention. What's your take on that?
The only thing there is that I know most of them are living on fear because of what is happening to Africa. And our prayer that Africa should be liberated because we are in great bondage. So, but if they will not take care of this nation, such a thing may happen. Yes, because the cry of every mother is freedom. So we are crying for freedom because you can see that all of us we are caged. Even a market like this, you can see that nothing is moving. So people are not happy with the situation of the nation. We know that this is a national, this crisis is all over the world. But what we are seeing here, at least Nigeria, God has blessed us to a level that we don't need to suffer up to this extent. But some people are holding tight what belongs to everybody. So the thing is not, they are not distributing the thing.
So you are telling us how it feels living in Nigeria is tough right now.
My dear, the way things are in this nation, I cannot explain. It's beyond our explanation. So we are begging even the federal government to do something because you can see things as atrocities are increasing in daily basics, and this is one of the things that can increase all those things. If people are contented with what they're doing, I don't think this atrocity can continue. And if they leave it in this form,